Welcome to the Andee Joyce video blog. Singer, songwriter, musician, artist, comedian, blogger, self-advocate. This is video 2 of a 4-part video series.
If you have a developmental or intellectual disability, no matter what anyone says, you have a right to be here and do everything you were put on earth to do. And if you support somebody with an intellectual or developmental disability, tell them that as often as possible. In fact, tell everyone that who will listen. Our lives depend on it. In this quarter's video, I'm going to be talking about how I manage my emotions around performing. I could probably write an entire book about this. But in the meantime, there's this. I'm not going to try to stop you. What does it say about me and about autism in general? That my favorite stim in all the world requires the cooperation of a room full of people. The other day I was doing a background music set in downtown Hillsboro, Oregon, in an art supply store called Colors Art, and I was playing guitar and singing with my back to the store window. An 11-year-old girl and her mother came into the store, and she told me that she recognized me from the back, from the Sensory Friendly show that I did at the Walters Center last April, and wanted to come in and meet me and tell me she loved my music. This was 9 months after I did the show there. She saw a 60-year-old version of herself, singing and storytelling and cracking jokes and leading flap-alongs and clap-alongs, and it gave her hope. It's things like that that make me remember why I do this, why I'm still breathing. I had a lot of meltdowns when I was first getting serious about this 10 years ago. Sometimes I still have them. I always have to look out for that evil troll in my head who tells me how bad I am at everything because of internalized ableism. For years, every time I went up there, I had the thought, oh God, I hope I don't screw up again. Which of course increases the chances that you will, because anxiety does things to your hands and whatnot. Oh, what if there were no charts? No tiny red hearts, no such thing as a following. What if there was no pitch perfection and rejection was protection? But would you want to sing? Like for me, the key to that was learning to reject fixed mindset. And it is an ongoing process because most of the world marinates in fixed mindset. And it's very hard to unlearn. Sometimes I still slip up. I think it helps me to remember that I'm not a finished product and never will be. And neither is anyone else. Fixed mindset says you're either born with talent or ability or you aren't. And fixed mindset was behind the original definition of autism. The idea that who you are and what you're capable of doing is locked in place by the time you're 3 years old. And it was behind all those parents of autistic kids who used to say to me and my autistic friends, my child will never go to school, have a family, get married, etc. You are nothing like my child. You can talk. I can? News to me. I'm reading from a script right now. Fooled you, didn't I? True facts. Almost every skill I have now developed after the age of 50. Yes, yes, yes. And you don't have to tell me. My microphone's not on. All right, there we go. Let's try this again. Finding kill switches for the troll is the key to every single thing I do, on stage or off. One thing I always remember is that the troll wasn't any nicer to me when I wasn't performing. In fact, it was kind of the opposite. I think I was led back into this at the half-century mark because I didn't want to die feeling that way about myself. Second time I had a meltdown after a performance, after it was over. Because, you can't really do anything while you're in the middle of a meltdown. You have to wait for it to pass. I wrote down a list of 54 different things a troll says to me in first person, and number 23 on the list was, I must change. I must become a different person entirely. I've told everyone I know that if you ever hear me say anything that sounds like that, you can say, that's number 23, and that will help redirect me. Medication and therapy also make me more redirectable. Mostly learning to do what I do on stage is about repeated messing up. You don't learn anything if you don't mess up a lot. I just had to keep going out there, trying new things, making live recordings with my phone, getting as specific as possible about what I wanted to work on instead of globalizing it. Instead of saying, I was terrible, or I don't have any talent, or nobody cares about this. I learned to say, that part of the song's a little tricky to sing while playing guitar. Maybe there's a way to make it easier or prepare myself better. Error tolerance. It's what's for dinner. I'll tell you something. The day after I did that show at the Walters, the troll focused on a couple of extremely minor hiccups and clobbered me relentlessly about them. I had a pretty good meltdown about that. But you know, that 11-year-old girl didn't care if I jumped time for 2 seconds because of an audio issue that was beyond my control. One thing I do often is write songs to give myself a pep talk or cheer myself up. Sometimes it works right away. Sometimes it takes years and everything in between. So, how do I manage this stuff? I chip away at it a little bit at a time. Every experience that I have gets added to my personal internal data bank. Sometimes it feels like I'm not making very much progress, but then
smile when they say you're too much. Have a brain trust you can trust. And one day you'll look up and there you'll be uncrushed. Uncrushed.
I feel like skill building is something that I want to keep doing for the rest of my life, for as long as I'm physically and mentally capable of it. And it probably couldn't hurt with the neuroplasticity either. Maybe old dogs can't learn new tricks, but old humans, we've been doing that forever. Thanks for listening.
Andee talks about ableism. What is ableism? Ableism, according to Merriam-Webster-Dictionary.com, is any prejudice, bias, and discrimination directed towards people living with disabilities. It is based on the idea that people with typical abilities are superior and more valuable than people with disabilities. This is not true. Ableism also assumes that people with disabilities need to be fixed or changed to fit a norm. This assumption may appear to be an expression of caring, but serves to hold back the success of people with disabilities. Earlier in her video, Andee shared a clip of her new song, Uncrushed. To hear the full song, go to the description below this video. So right below this video, there should be text. Click on More, and the full description will open. And you will find the link for the full song that will take you to Andee's YouTube channel, and you can listen to it there. To learn more about how to tell your story like Andee, contact the Oregon Council on Developmental Disabilities. You can email us at info@ocdd.org or call 971-225-3659. You can also find information on how to find support or more information or examples of others telling their stories on our website at www.ocdd.org. You can also scan the QR code on this screen. Also, the first video in Andee's video blog series is on our website and it's on the homepage. You can link to it from there. Thank you for watching. To learn more about Andee, visit her website at rhythmandautism.com. You can also scan the QR code on this page.